Hi everyone, SeanB here and welcome back to another Summoners One video. Today I bring you another meta-breaking PvE mastermind. You're looking at the new style, new meta R5 team that has no Katarina whatsoever. And we are looking at self-revive, frontline unit, and a single Baley to kill the boss. And it belongs to Ace, who started this whole mess that everybody on my stream keep asking, hey, have you heard of the new BS like R5 meta, like have you built one, blah blah blah.
Well, hello everyone there. I'm a few things is I've been
Oh wait, I just got kicked.
See what happened. Yeah, we took too long to start it.
I just got kicked.
All right, so I'm Ace. I've been playing Summoners War for about, I think, going on 5 years now. I was basically free to play. I was able to get up to Guardian as a free to play player. I don't know if that's even possible anymore.
Are you really free to play now? Like no daily pack whatsoever?
Okay, no. So I was free to play for about 3.5 years. I really was 100%. And then I found out that I can maybe deduct my Summoners War transactions on my taxes, so I decided to take advantage of that. But I am definitely not pay to win. The only thing I buy is, and the reason is because I think it's the most efficient thing, is the Devil Mons. I just had so many problems with skill ups, so I do buy pretty much the $50 Devil Mon pack, and the past 2 Transcendence Scrolls I did purchase those as well. But I've never bought a Room pack, I've never bought a Rehab pack or a Grind or any of those other crazy packs.
How did this team come about? And we can start the run right now as well.
All right, so I'll be honest with you. My runes are pretty good, and I mean that's pretty much what I did. I just out farmed everyone, because I was free to play. So my runes were pretty good, and I've been running in Channel 65 on the global server for a very long time. I was probably one of the first people there, and I was running the KB team with the Chloe and the Galleon, and I was also running the QB team once that one came out with Helia and QB. And then I started noticing that, man, sometimes it didn't even matter. I would be running with other, G1, G2, G3 friends, and we would still fail. So what happened was Come2Us made this change to where the boss now, no matter what, at 50% will go up in the air, right? And that actually started causing some issues where the Katarinas would move when a Helia derped, and they'd move before the boss came back from the air, and we would wipe. And then I noticed that sometimes the Bales would get those stacks and finish the boss off anyway. So that gave me an idea. That's pretty much how I got this idea, and I actually tested it on stream. How I went on stream and I was like, all right, we're gonna try to crack this new meta. My original idea was using Freya to pretty much die and then heal everyone back up so they'd be able to kill, but it didn't work, and we tested out with a Theo, and I just couldn't get it to work. And then finally just the light bulb came on, and I'm like, okay, there's these passive revivers, let's use them. And then I'm like, wait a minute, we don't even need good runes for them, they're just sacrifices. They're gonna die, and when they die after the jump, again, Bale will always get his stacks, no matter what. And I had actually this my friend here, Kamisan, and he was the first one that was on board. And another guildie of mine, Mr. Sarcasm, helped me test this quite a bit. And then I was able to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, she's so lucky.
Oh man, you gotta have female profile picture, okay? Anime profile picture doesn't work. I'm sorry, but that was exciting.
Yeah, jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, they were on
disclaimer,
board,
guys.
Yeah,
disclaimer. This team does not improve drops. Okay, that was just lucky. But yeah, so they helped me build this team, and this is the final product. But I'll be honest with you guys, it took a lot of testing. There was times where I was ready to give up because I just couldn't get the actual monsters needed. Actually, this team didn't even start out with Fran, but it was through just a lot of testing. Then I realized, wait, well, I need Will after the jump, so he doesn't get the attack break, and that's where Fran came in. And then the Lauren was the first innovation for the defense breaker, and then I've just been working on it and trying to perfect it, and this is the ideal team that you're looking at.
I see. So let's talk about the front line first, okay? The sacrificial pieces. They can be anything that die and revive. Am I right?
Okay, so technically, yes. The problem is, for example, like a Perna, because she is a net 5. If you have her level 6, 6-star maxed, then her base stats or his base stats are just too high, so it might not die
I see.
after the jump. All right, and I ran into that problem with Theo because originally I was using the Water Joker and I tested with it Theo, but pretty much these two here are by far the most effective. But I do have some videos out on how to replace them as well. It's just these are just by far, like I said, the most effective too.
I see, because they will surely die and will come back to life to die again for the Baley stack. Am I right?
You are correct, yes.
So for the front line, you want something that die, revive, and they must die. They cannot survive. So you don't want to run like a net 5 with good base stat because they actually may not die with your tower bonus. And these units
Correct.
should be on fight and 1 will set because you don't want them to get oblivion, right?
That is correct. That's why you need the will, so you don't get oblivion, and they need that passive to come back to life.
I see. So does it matter what level they are at? Because I see like the bear at level 30, but the giant's warrior at level 1. Is there any
Right,
reason
no,
for
it
that?
doesn't matter. No, level 1 is fine. My bear, I was saving him for fusion, and I just happened to have him level 30, but luckily he still dies, so that's why he works. But level 1 is totally fine, probably even ideal.
I see. For Mesity, usually I see them in KB5 because he provide speed tuning better and also the crit rate buff. Is he needed here or you can use something else?
So Immensity is actually he's a very key component to this team because he just brings so much. As you can see, he is tanking the front line, so he requires somebody after the jump that they die. You need someone in the front line. I'm sorry, I gotta stop. Please keep that violence crit rate for me.
Oh, definitely sold that shit real quick.
All right, but yeah, so Immensity, the key with him is that defense buff. The defense buff and the crit rate buff. So he gives that crit rate buff to Bale so that your Bale only needs 70% crit, which is actually, I mean, that's a must. You cannot do less than 70. You want all of his hits to crit every single time. And then his defense buff is going to allow you pretty much so that you don't have to give added effective HP stats to your backline monsters, Bale, Laura, and Fran. So that, I mean, he's really, really key. If someone were to replace him, he is replaceable, but it's not recommended. It will throw everything out of sync because you're not giving the Fran that extra turn. There's just so many factors that can go wrong when you replace Immensity.
I see. Sadly, that's the component that is not farmable. So you will have to summon Immensity if you want to fill the spot of someone that boosts Friend to reduce Derp chance for crit rate buff and all that stuff. Sadly.
Right. Well, what I will say is, or you can find 2 other friends that you can always raid with, and you guys could. I mean, it's going to require a lot higher rune quality, but as long as you 3 are running a Theo, for example, or I mean, ideally a Theo because of the crit rate buff, so that now his crit rate leader skill, now your Bale will only need 76 crit rate. And then your turn order would stay intact, but then, like I said, you are going to need some more effective HP on your backline. But it can work without him.
I see. Talking about the backline, as you can see right here, we have 5 runes on Shayna, we have 5 runes on Fran, we have 5 runes on Lauren. So if you're planning to build this team, you may want to build like a secondary Fran, because your main Fran will probably be on Violent or Surf for PvP purpose. Ooh, grats.
Nice. Yes, that is correct.
And I think you don't need to max skill because you only need to take 1 turn anyway. So there's no need to max skill your backline unit except for Baley for damage, right?
Yeah, actually, if you want to click on my Fran, you can see that she has skill. She is in fact a dupe Fran, as well as that Shayna.
I see. Is there a minimum Baley stat you want to tell the people? Because I see that your Baley is the better one in these 3. So is anyone here the minimum Baley stat?
Okay, so because of, you know, just so many factors as far as guild towers and arena towers, I'm sorry, the guild level 30 buff, and then the arena towers, I can't give us just a set number, but
assuming they're maxed, for example, assuming, you know?
Right. Okay. So assuming they're maxed, I do have a video on this, on what kind of stats you wanna achieve, and it's about plus 1600 attack and 225 crit damage, assuming everything is maxed. But the very key thing that, and it's real easy to know whether you are ready for this or not, is your Bale, he just needs to do 30,000 damage with his last hit during these runs. So if you can zoom in, you'll see that mine does about 34ish, but these other ones do about 31, I think, 30, maybe 32. But as long as you can hit that 30,000 damage on the last hit, and this is without brand. So like on this right now, it wouldn't count because we have brand up. But after the jump, maybe you can zoom in and you can see the damage that they do. So the required damage is if all 3 Bales are doing 30,000 damage with their last hit, they will always kill him. They will always kill him.
So you don't need
is the minimum
to really hit the attack or the crit damage too exactly. Just try to hit the damage number. I think that's the one that mattered the most. 35k over there I saw for your Bale.
Right, yeah. My Bale's, he's just on some really good ones. But yeah, no, it's all you need is 30,000. 30,000.
And the beautiful thing about all this is it's so consistent. It's crazy. It's always 35, 30 seconds. It's insane. There's no variance whatsoever.
Yes, it really is. And you know, the success rate is through the roof, and that's why I like this team so much, honestly. It's so rare when it fails. But I will make that disclaimer. You know, if RNG says hates you, the boss, no matter what, has a 15% chance to resist. And if he somehow resists both defense breakers, then it will wipe. But it's so rare. I mean, I've gone 2-3 hours without a single wipe before, and obviously the other factor of failures is if the Bales are not doing that the 30,000 damage.
I see. And I think comparing to KB5, whereby you have to build 6 units with proper speed tuning and runes, here you reduce that number to 4 units and 2 sacrificial pieces that can be runed with very bare minimum white runes. It's insane.
It really is, and that's one of the things I love the most about it, because now my Katarina, I've got some crazy ideas on how to, because of her base speed, but I was limited to always running her so slow because I wanted to have that R5 team. But now it's freed up a lot of avenues, and I'm going to be messing around with that Katarina to do some other stuff with it for sure.
I see. It also free up your Galleon, your Bluebird, your Chloe to be built differently, and you can get a dupe friend easily with ancient coins and a dupe Lauren with secret dungeon, so you don't have to mess with your main unit as well, which is very insane to me.
Yeah, it really is. And then if you can, like you can tell on my team, as long as you have the rune quality, you don't even need to waste your resources 6-starring them. You know, I'm running my friend at 5-star. I also have my Lauren at 5-star. The Shayna is 6-star just because I already had a second Shayna 6-star. If not, I probably would have kept her 5-star. But I mean, definitely the rune quality needed for that goes up quite a bit.
Yeah, I think I also want to mention that he told me the Shayna is here it's not really too important. You can use Lauren and it can do the same because it's always the armor break, but China armor break is more consistent than Lauren, and China can use the Fire Fox leader skill to add more damage, a little bit more damage to the team as well.
Yes, that is correct. And just for maximum efficiency on this team, if you guys could hit that 30,000 damage with your bales without running a Lauren, I highly recommend that you run the Shiwa lead and then 2 Shinas. And then, it's just one less chance for RNGesus to kind of mess with you. It just makes it just a tad more consistent for sure.
I see. In terms of runes, I think the biggest wall for most players trying to achieve this is going to be the amount of 5 runes that you need for at least 3 units. Immensity, Friend, and either Lauren or China. You need decent 5 runes for this unit, right? The 5 runes on the sacrificial piece is kind of white and irrelevant. And also the rage set on the Baley. I think that is really the rune requirement for all these things.
Yeah, so definitely you are gonna need some decent fight and will runes for your Lauren and your Fran and Immensity, but honestly, if you have them 6-starred, that rune quality drops so much. In my video, I showcased the difference between the runes. I mean, we're not running some crazy runes on these 6-starred monsters. They're definitely obtainable. I would even say that even just 5-star runes, as long as you max them, can definitely achieve enough stats for you. The most important thing is the turn order, really.
So what is the ideal turn order that we're talking about?
Okay, so the ideal turn order is you're gonna have your leader, so Shiwa and Lauren. So your leader and your / defense breaker will always move first, and then they will be followed by Fran, who is followed by Immensity, resurging Fran, giving her another turn just in case she derps, and obviously applying that crit buff and defense buff. And then by this time, all 3 bales move, and they send the boss up in the air. So the sacrificial monsters, they need absolutely 0 speed. You can actually run them at 0 speed. They don't need any speed at all. They're gonna die, just like you saw right here at the jump. They're all dead. They're never gonna get a turn, and that's why these 2 are ideal as your sacrifices. But that's the turn order right there.
Very simple. I think it's not too complicated. It definitely makes sense, and it requires, I think, only 50 speed on every monster, right? Is there a minimum speed you want to hit, or as long as your turn order is correct, it's fine?
Okay, so at first, I thought that as long as the turn order was correct. The problem then became when I started running with just some newer players, I guess you can say, who didn't have their speed towers maxed. I noticed that if they had their bale about less than 20, then plus 25, what could happen is the boss would get 2 turns after the jump and wipe their whole team out. So there is some speed minimums, and there's also a maximum that I recommend. So the minimum speed, I think, if your towers are not maxed, I would say plus 30 on your bale. And if they are, plus 25. I still have not pinpointed exactly what that number is, but that number seems to be safe. And then as far as the maximum, I would say plus 70, because you always want to move after the boss gets a turn.
I see. Because if he doesn't get a turn, he will not kill the plebs, I mean the fodders, and then you will not get a stack. That's kind of annoying.
Right. And then there is one other minor issue that can happen. If, for example, you have a plus 40 on your Immensity and then your bale is plus 39, the way the attack bar works in Summoner's War, your bale could go 100%. Over 100%. So when Immensity researches Fran, your bale can cut. So you also want, I would say, about 8 to 10 speed difference between Immensity and bale to avoid that.
I see. You don't want to get cut and then suddenly losing your attack buff.
Well, that or Bale just goes first before, and it just messes up the turn order after the jump, and shit could hit the fan pretty much.
I see. So far, 0 lost, super consistent, always 30-ish second. This is crazy. It's insane. Wow.
It's so much fun, man. Like I said, the success rate on this is probably the thing I'm most proud of, honestly. Because like I said, even now, with proper KB or QB teams, all it takes is one Chloe or QB derp, and it could be a wipe. And this team is derp free.
That's insane. I wouldn't say derp free though. If the friend derp twice, but I don't think that's gonna be too possible. But yeah, so far it's really insane because there's no way the armor breaker will derp. They will always armor break. There are 2 chances for friend to buff attack power, and I don't know if Immensity ever derp ever. Does he?
No, Immensity AI always use skill 3. Yes, it will always do it. And I will tell you this: I have seen Fran derp like once, just once, but I have never ever, and I've used this team, I would say well over 1,000 times now. I have never seen her double derp.
I see. It's derp free, lower rune quality, and it free up a lot of different unit for you. I think this is really insane. Is there any tips that you want to share? Because I have no more question to ask. The next thing I have to do is just to build this team, man.
There you go, man. So the other tip I do want to share with everyone. So obviously you want to be able to have people to raid with, right? So what we've done is in the global server, it's already taken off. Channel 333 is the official BS-R5 channel, and you can find plenty of people to raid with. And the other thing is I'll say is if you build this team and your Bale is not doing enough damage, you can also just use it in R4. It works tremendously, guys. Do not, make it a bad experience for people in R5 if you're not ready. There's really nothing wrong with doing R4. I'll be honest with you guys, when these raids first came out, I did R3 for about 6 months, just grinding those blue runes. But it improved my account. Yeah, it improved my account. And like I said, guys, just nothing wrong with R4. Don't try to run before you crawl.
But yeah, that's it for us today. New meta team, guys, check it out. It's crazy good. I've seen it for myself. I'm super motivated to build it for my own account as well. Even the early game account, I'm gonna try to dip my hands into this because it's so easy to build. It's crazy.
Yes, guys, it really is. It's pretty easy to build. Just like I said, remember, get that 30,000 Bale. I don't want to see bad Bales running around, all right?
Alright guys, that's it for us. Check out A's YouTube channel. I'll leave the link down below in the description box. And he'll be posting more content soon. He's a highly ranked RTA player as well. I check out his runes. So do keep your eye out on that. And I'll see you guys around. Leave a like, subscribe, and bye.